because you don't even know, you never heard about that disease process, you never heard of that medication, you never heard of any of those things. You just have to critically think and think about, okay, what's going to keep my patients safe? What is, if I was working, what would I do to save my patient's life? You need to know you're beautiful, you're perfect just like you are. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Georgia. If you're new, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. So in today's video, it's been a long awaited video. I always wanted to do this video since I came on YouTube. I was like, once I finish nursing school, I'm gonna do a video about how I passed my NCLEX, and today is the day. So today is the day that I'm gonna be telling you my whole experience, my study routine, how I passed the NCLEX in 81 question. It was almost 85% a SATA question, so select all that apply, and I'm telling you, it was, I passed. So yeah, it was hard, but I did it. Yeah, I did it. You see, I did it. So before we get started though, make sure you guys like this video, share the video, subscribe, and also leave a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe and turn that bell notifications on. So let's get into the video. So first, what I did, I'm gonna show you everything what I did. So first, what I did, I went ahead and after I got my ATT number, I believe I got my ATT number I don't remember the exact date, but it was in October. I got my ATT number, and then I said I'm gonna give myself a month to study. And so I did. I gave myself 6 weeks, exactly 6 weeks to study. So you can see I started to study October 12 right here. I started to study October 12, and then I stopped studying October 4th. So I did light studying. So I did study after November 4th, I should say. I started studying October 12 right here. I started studying October 12, and then I like start doing like light studying November 4th, because November 6th was my original test date, but I moved it up because I wasn't feeling confident enough, and I was using this program. It's called Archer, where you have to get 4 to 5 consecutive high or very high on your assessment before you can go take the NCLEX and pass it, or before you can go take the NCLEX, they advise you to get 4 consecutive high to very high before you can go take the NCLEX. Once you get the 4 very high or high, which I got 4 very highs, I had a 99% chance of passing the NCLEX. So when I walked into the NCLEX, I did have a little doubt. I was like anxious and stuff, but you know, that's normal. When you are going to do a big exam, you are going to feel anxious, but if you follow this method, I promise you're not going to regret it. So yes, so what I did is I did my calendar. So you see right here, it have my start date. So I studied from Monday to Sunday, and then I started October 12 to November 4th, and then I started doing light studying until my NCLEX date. And then I woke up, like I woke up every morning at 6 o'clock, and I just made breakfast, sit down and stuff like that, and I don't start like doing the exam, I don't start doing the test, or don't start studying until 8 o'clock, because my NCLEX was scheduled at 8 o'clock. So I wanted my mind to have that same, like, to train my mind to do the exam at 8 o'clock. So that's what I did for 6 weeks. So right here it shows you I started at 8 o'clock and then finish at 3 o'clock. And my lunch break, I had a 1 hour lunch break, so that was at 12 to 1. So that's what I did. And then this is my 6th week, and then it shows you every single thing that I did week 1. And then once the weeks start progressing, the workload start getting less and less. So let me show you right here. So once the weeks start progressing, the workload start getting less and less. And then before the exam, I just start doing like reviewing my labs and reviewing my immunization for children. And then I had this saying, like my little affirmation. So it just writes my NCLEX day, and then it write big day, and it's like congratulations, Georgia already. And then it have, you can do this. It will it's never about the speed, it's about endurance. Take your time, answer every question like it's your last. And that's exactly what I did. So that was my little affirmation for myself. That's what I wrote for myself. So let's go into my study routine and stuff like that. So I started on Tuesday, as I told you. So what I did, I followed the Archer Shore Pass method. So what I did 3 hours worth of lecture. So they have 10 hours worth of content review. It's actually, no, they have 20 hours of content review, where they have, it's like the smaller contents, they're just put in one, but they're less detailed than the 2 hours 20 hours. And those 20 hours, they go over every single thing that's in the singular videos, or the single videos, but not as in-depth as the short videos, the 2 hours and the 3 hours video. So that's what I did. I wrote down all, let me see, hold on. Yes, so what I did, I went ahead and I wrote down all the lectures that I have to do. And when I wrote down the lectures, I saw that it would take me 22 days to complete all the lectures, if I'm doing 1 lectures every single day. And then some of the lectures, like some of the lectures like not maternity, pediatrics, like pediatric burns and pediatric growth and development, like the growth of the development, because they don't put them in one, they put them separately. So it would have growth and development for toddlers 10 minutes, growth and development for preschoolers 10 minutes, growth and development for school age 10 minutes, growth and development for adolescent 10 minutes, and so on and so forth. So some of those I just combined them in one day. So it actually took me less than 22 days to actually to watch those videos and stuff. So that's what I did. And then after I do that, I went ahead and started doing the 75 questions, and I make sure that I read the rationals, understand the rationals, make sure, because if you are doing questions, you don't want to just do the question to just do the question. You want to do the question and understand the question, because even if you get it right and you guess, there's a possibility that you'll see something similar to that and if you don't understand the content, there is no way you're going to get the answer correctly. And then it's like, it's better to know the content and stuff like that, so you're sure you're going to get the answer correctly, so you don't have to guess. So that's what I did. And I did Uworld. So I did, right here you can see, I did 40 questions of Uworld per day. And I also did this, the NCLEX nursing nugget pages. This was really helpful. So yeah, so the first thing I did, I created my calendar, 6-week calendar, and it tells me every single day what I'm supposed to be doing. I Every day I don't get to do every single thing on my agenda, but I try to make sure if I don't get through it today, tomorrow I'm going to try to do at least, if I don't get to do all of it, I'm going to do at least half of it, or try to at least start it, you know. So that's what I did first, make the calendar. After you make the calendar, I went, after I made the calendar, I went ahead and I did this book, the NCLEX Nursing Nugget book. So you can see right here, I did every single thing in this book. It is super informative. It's very short, easy to read, and I'm a visual learner. Like, I'm visual and kinetic learner, so I have to actually see the thing. I have to see it, feel it, taste it, touch it, every single thing. I have to use all my senses. And if I'm dealt with a topic that I'm not really sure of and stuff like that, this book actually solidifies for me, because it doesn't only tell you the thing, it doesn't tell you about the topic, it doesn't just tell you about the topic. When you turn the pages, at the end of each chapter, it actually shows you like pictures right here and stuff. So this book was really helpful, and I started out doing maternity and peds. After I did that, when I did the maternity, I would watch the Archer maternity video. After I watch the Archer maternity video, I'll go in Archer and I'll do randomized questions from Archer, and then I'll go to Uworld, and then I'll select maternity if I'm doing maternity that week, and I'll do all the maternity questions. And then after I do the maternity questions, I go and I'll show you some of my notes. So I like writing notes, because as I said, that's how I learn. I have to actually write it out to remember it. So this is my maternity little pamphlet that I made and stuff. So it will show you like all the important parts, and then it will show you right here. So that's everything that I learned. And then I also did copy pictures off the internet and then like paste it in this thing right here. So that's how this is looking. So, and I'll do that for all okay. So that's what I'll do, and I'll do that for every subject. Repeat, rinse, repeat, and we call it repeat. No, rinse, wash, repeat, and reverse, or wash, rinse, and repeat. That's what I did. Wash, rinse, and repeat. I wake up in the morning, 6 o'clock, eat my breakfast. Don't start to go into the bathroom. Don't start studying until exactly 8 o'clock. I watch 1 hour of the designated Archer review. After I finish watching that, I do 75 questions of Archer questions randomized. And when I'm doing the 75 question, I don't typically do 75 questions at once. I just break them down into 10 10 10 10 until I reach the last one. I'll do 15, or maybe I'll do 5. So yeah, and then after I do that, I do Uworld, and then after I do Uworld, and I do that topic that I'm doing. So if I do maternity, I'll do maternity in Uworld. So I'll just correlate whatever topic I'm doing that week with the subject. And then sometimes I'll, instead of doing just one subject, I'll do 2 subjects a week, like 2 subjects a week. So say Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, And if you my calendar, so it will tell you like so I started out right here on child health, right? And I did child health Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, um Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Friday. And then right here you can see on Saturday I started doing maternity. So that's what I did. So I did that until all the questions are finished, and I think that I understand everything. And then after I do that, I'll come into this book. This book is very short to read. It's only like I think like 200 pages. So you can finish like two chapters or three chapters in a day. But if you are like me, what I did was I read it. After I finished reading it, I wrote out almost everything. I really like almost everything and make sure that I understood what was actually going on in the book, what I was reading, because you don't want to be reading something and you don't even understand what's going on, or you read something and then 10 minutes after you're trying to do a quiz and you can't remember nothing that was said, you know. So that's what I did. I come right here in the Pete section and I'll read the Pete section, write out notes. You can see I wrote out notes in the book. And then after I do that, I'll start. Let me see. Where is the pediatrics? And then after I do that, I'll come over here and then I start doing little notes. So you can see right here, and then I have like all the stools and yeah, so what every stool stand for. And then I'll have the different theories, so I'll have those. And then what I do is I normally like make up like some funny quotes so I could remember it. Like for the Piaget stages, I could not remember those for nothing. And then I started doing some parents carry formal operation, so that's what I did. And then I'd be like, okay, some parents carry formal operation, and then I'd be like, okay, so the S is sensory, the P is preoperative, the C is concrete, formal is formal operation. Okay, I got it, you know. So that's what I did. And then I do that for like almost everything. And then this is Freud. And then you see right here I just wrote out the letters, and then I'll just constantly saying those things in my head. And then after 2 or 3 days just saying it, it will actually stick. Once you start like writing out your notes and then just repeating it, reading it over and over, it will just stick in your head. So that's what I did. And then when it comes on to like the congenital heart defects, I had a hard time with those too. So what I did was I actually like the heart failure. I say, okay, so heart failure left, so the left is lungs. So everything that affect the lungs is left side heart failure. So right, what is right? Body. So everything that affects the body is heart failure. Right side heart failure. And then I come down and then I drew these like the septal defect. I draw it out. I draw out the patent ductus arteriosus, and then I wrote out the notes. Petrology I follow, wrote out the notes. Dry, wrote out the notes, and I did that. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Did that for every single thing, and I did it for all major classes. So maternity, I did it for peds, I did it for med surge, and then one of the topic that was really hard for me was endocrine. So I went over all endocrine. Right now, if you ask me a question about endocrine, I can answer it like that. That's like, you ask me any question about endocrine, any question about peds, any question about maternity, I'm like this. I can just answer it like that. So this is my endocrine right here. My endocrine notes. Um, right here. So that's what I did for that. And then I wrote out my medications. So which one work faster and which one work slower. So work faster, IV. Then after that, sublingual. Then after that, IM. Then after that, sub Q. Then after that, PO. So which one worked the least? PO. Which one worked the fastest? IV. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I did. And I did that for all the subjects. I did that for mental health. I did that for, and then I tried, because I like all my strong areas, what I know that I'm strong in. I try to like do less things in those topics. Like for mental health, I love mental health. Mental health is like my favorite topic. That's what I want to do. So I know I'm interested in that, and I know that like those questions, it's like if you give me a peace question, all right, you give me a peace question and tell me that it's a mental health question, I'll answer it correctly. But give me a mental health question and tell me that it's a peace question, I'll answer it wrong. Like, if you get what I'm saying. But that's how I am with mental health. Mental health comes so easy to me. That's what I want to be. I want to be a mental health nurse. So yeah, so that's what I did. Let me show you a little bit of my fundamentals. So this is my fundamentals. I just draw the brain and I label it, and then I put down like what each part of the brain is for. That's what I did, and then I wrote out the medication rights and so on and so forth. You know, the how you do CPR on adults versus how you do it on children. How do you put eardrops in? With adults, you pull it up and back. With children, you pull it down and back. So that's what I did. Yeah, so that's how I studied for the NCLEX. So once I got there and stuff like that, I oof, my skin is itching. So yeah, so that's how I studied. I use Archer, I use Uworld, I use I use a little bit of Mark Clement, because when I was in nursing school I was doing Mark Clement, so I already knew about him. So I just listened to him. I listened to all the 12, but I only did it one time and stuff. But I already knew, um I already listened to him so much. So his lectures were like, you know, like when you listen to something so much, you get so used to it. It's like you don't even want to listen to it anymore and stuff like that. So that's what happened to me with Mark Clement. So I didn't really listen to him. Um, yeah. Oh, let me show you. And then for the, yeah. So that's what I did. So yeah, the URL, and then I thought URL wasn't even that like, it was helpful, but it was nothing close to the NCLEX. It wasn't similar to the English. It was so wordy, like wordy. It was so wordy, and then it was like too much. Like the rationals are really good in UWorld, but the questions are too wordy. Like when you read the questions and stuff like that, I couldn't. I like Archer was so short. It's like the NCLEX and Archer was like the same exact thing. So when I got to the NCLEX and then I started doing the question, I was like, oh, it's like doing an Archer assessment. It is. It's like doing Archer questions. It's like so short, and then it's like so vague. Like once you start doing Archer, I'm telling you, you do Archer and stuff, your scores are gonna be like trash. You're gonna be like, why did I go to school for? Like, I don't know nothing. But after start answering the question and then you start developing that critical thinking, you are going to see you're gonna see the difference. Because when I started out, I'm telling you, my score was like 30 something. My end score in Artra, it was 60%, and then I started doing some of the incorrect question, and then it went down to 59%, and I got 4 very high chance of passing. So yeah. And then for the you know how a lot of people, they tell you how to remember the gown and the gloves, like your PPE, how to remember. Oh, I don't have to do that, but how to, I can show you. Yeah, how to remember PPE and stuff like that. And sometimes it's very confusing, like, oh, do it like this, do it like that. With me, the way how I learn, like, I couldn't remember it like that. So this is how I did it, because my name was Gigi before I got married. So I put GG right here. I put GG, right? And then I got married, and then now my last name start with W. So I put W right here, and then I put love at the end. So the G, it's because GW is gown. Then I reverse the W to M, and then the second one is going to be mask, and then the third one is going to be goggles, and then the fourth one is going to be gloves because it have the love. So the fourth one is going to be love. And then to take it off, I remember germ. So the G, and then the I wear, then the R for robe. So that is your gown, and then the M for your mask. So that's how I remember it and stuff. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah. So when I got to, so now let me talk. So I told you about my so I told you about my study routine and everything. So now you're supposed to be perfect, and how I my experience with the NCLEX now. So when I got to the NCLEX and everything, and I got my whiteboard. So what I did was, when I got my whiteboard, I tell you, I changed my whiteboard like 4 times. I felt so sorry for the guy, but I got my whiteboard, and once I start, like, the questions come up and I start answering my questions, what I did, I put down 1, 2, 3, 4, and as I read the question, I read the top, what it's asking me about, and I read that 2 times. And then after I read it the 2 times to make sure I didn't miss anything, I went down and I read my answers. After I read my answers, I after I read my answers, after I put down the 1, 2, 3, 4, I read my answer or whatever. If it's a select all of the pie, because I had a lot of select all of the pie. I got like most of my, like, I don't know, like when I was counting, I had 37, but at that time I think I was at 53 questions, the 53 questions, but I had 37 multiple choice, like select all that apply, and then I just stopped counting, and my exam stopped at 81, and I had so much. Even my second to last question, it was a select all that apply, and then my last question was a regular question, then it just shut off. Yeah, it's like one of the time my questions, it was like my second question was a select all that apply too. So it was like a regular question, then select all that apply, then regular question, then select all that apply, like select all that apply, select all that apply, select all that apply, select all that apply, like 4 times and 6 times in a row. And I was like, oh my god, these people are killing me. But I wasn't, like, because like my content was so strong, because I did so much, I was like, okay, I got this. But then when I passed the 75, I was like, oh my god, I passed 75, and I was getting so much silicon valley. I thought that this computer would shut off. It didn't shut off. I don't know what to do. And then it tell me, oh, you can go take a bathroom break. But I was like, no. And I wanted to pee so much, but I was like, no, I'm not getting up, because if I get up and I lose focus, this is gonna be the end of it. This is going to be the end of it. I need to just sit down, hold that pee in, and finish my questions. And so I was like, if you go to 145, I don't know. But I'm going to answer this question like it's my last. So just like what my affirmations say, answer the question like it's your last. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to answer it like it's my last. When I reach a 75, and then I start answering the question, I answer the question, and then I still doing the 1, 2, 3. I did that for all my questions, even the select all of the pie. I wrote them 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do that for all of the questions. And so, and then I reached a 75 and it didn't shut off. I still did that and everything. And then some of the questions I was like, oh my god, I don't even know. Like there's so much of them. You don't even like, that's why they always say like sometimes even though like your content is strong and stuff, you are going to get a lot of questions that you have no idea what is about. You don't even know. You never heard about that disease process, never heard of that medication, you never heard of any of those things. You just have to critically think and think about, okay, what's going to keep my patient safe? What is, if I was working, what would I do to save my patient's life? You know? And stuff. So that's exactly what I was thinking of when I was doing that exam and stuff like that. So yeah, so that is my story, that is my journey. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe, click that notification bell down, and I hope you guys have a I hope you guys pass. I know you guys will pass. I know you guys are going to pass, because if you finish nursing school and you have been working this hard, this far, just remember God didn't carry all this way just to make you not pass this NCLEX. So you are going to pass. You are going to come back and tell me you did pass. And yeah, you just leave a comment down below and tell me if I could be of any help to you guys. I'll I'm here. I have a you know, I'll be right here. So I'll see you guys. Bye.